Hey, I'm Steven and this is Solving the Money Problem. If you're new, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. So yesterday, Tesla posted their Q1 2020 earnings, and on the call in the evening, in addition to dropping some amazing numbers that blew everyone away, the stock shot up 10% after hours. It's up this morning as I'm recording this. Elon Musk also had some comments relating to the shutdown in the United States and globally. These comments have been very polarizing. However, I've noticed a ton of people seem to have just not heard what Elon said. So in this video, I'm just going to play a few of those clips from the call and also add a little bit of commentary where I think I can provide some context. Without further ado, let's dive in. Hey guys, before I forget, WeBull have extended their offer for US residents. If you'd like to help out the channel and get up to 2 free stocks, use the link in the description. Alright, let's get back to it.
We are a bit worried about not being able to resume production in the Bay Area, and that should be identified as a serious risk. We only have 2 car factories right now, one in Shanghai and one in the Bay Area. And the Bay Area produces the vast majority of our cars. All of S and X, and most of the 3 and all of the Y. So the extension of the shelter-in-place, or frankly I would call it forcibly imprisoning people in their homes against all their constitutional rights, that in my opinion, and breaking people's freedoms in ways that are horrible and wrong, and not why people came to America or built this country. What the fuck? Excuse me.
It's not that often that you'll hear a CEO of a large company dropping F-bombs on an earnings call, but in this case, I think it's warranted. Elon is speaking for the people who don't have a voice. We'll listen to a little bit more of this, but please keep that in mind. This comment, these thoughts are not about Tesla. They are about people. Please get that. It's very important.
People, the outrage, it's an outrage. But it will cause great harm, not just to Tesla, but to many companies. And while Tesla will weather the storm, there are many small companies that will not. And all of everything people have worked for their whole life is being destroyed in real time. And we're going to have many suppliers, and are having many suppliers that are having super hard times, especially the small ones. And it's causing a lot of strife to a lot of people.
I know that comment has already triggered some people because I know what happened last night, but please, you're the people I'm trying to reach. Just bear with me for a moment. Let's listen to what Elon said one more time, and please hear the emotion in his voice and what he's talking about.
Everything people have worked for their whole life is being destroyed in real time.
So what we've just heard from Elon is just a factually correct statement. There are people now who have lost their incomes, they've lost their businesses, they've been closed down, they've been forced to lay people off. Everything they've built up and worked their lives for is literally being taken away and destroyed in front of their very eyes. Wait, what's that? Wait. Oh, but we have to do this because the world's ending, and please just bear with me. Please, I know it's hard, but just please, just bear with me just a little bit longer.
Is it right to infringe upon people's rights as what is happening right now? I think the people are going to be very angry about this, and are very angry.
Alright guys, we're about to get to the crux of the video, so please pay very close attention to the words. This seems to me to have been the point that just about everyone who's outraged, angry, hating on Elon, etc. just didn't hear. I literally mean just did not hear, okay? Maybe the words went in, but the comprehension didn't happen. So let's listen to what Elon said with a discerning ear and try to extract the actual meaning rather than projecting our thoughts, our beliefs, and our values and our assumptions.
Yeah, it's like if somebody wants to stay in their house, that's great. They should be allowed to stay in their house, and they should not be compelled to leave. But to say that they cannot leave their house, and they will be arrested if they do, this is fascist.
All right, let's just hone in on a couple of key sentences there.
If somebody wants to stay in their house, that's great. They should be allowed to stay in their house, and they should not be compelled to leave. But to say that they cannot leave their house, and they will be arrested if they do, this is fascist.
It still baffles me that people didn't get this, but let's just run through the logic, all right? Let's do some reasoning here. So effectively, what Elon has said here is, if people wish to stay at home, for example, people who are vulnerable, old or existing health conditions, cool. If they're vulnerable, they should have the choice and the freedom to stay at home, to stay safe. And if people are scared, if they're concerned, they should also have the freedom to stay at home if they choose. They should not be compelled to leave their homes. So the people that are either vulnerable or scared should be free to stay home, not compelled to leave. Safe. Everyone else who either isn't vulnerable or isn't scared should be free to do what they like. But no, but they're going to get infected. They'll infect people. No. Listen, dickhead. The people that are at risk or scared can stay home. They're safe, okay? They're safe. It doesn't matter what everyone else does. They're fucking safe. Do you get this? Do you understand? What has Elon said that you disagree with? What's dangerous about that? What's selfish about that? What's callous about that? Nothing. Tell me, how does somebody who is either at risk or scared get infected with this illness if they voluntarily self-isolate because they know they're at risk or they're scared? The only way that happens is if somebody else who isn't scared decides to break and enter into the house of the person who has self-isolated. Do you guys understand? Now, I just want to say at this point in the video, if anybody's still not on the same page and you still believe that what Elon said doesn't make sense, it puts people in undue risk, etc., please explain your reasoning in the comments. I would love to know how you get from what Elon said to that inference, because I don't understand. How does somebody who believes that they're vulnerable or is concerned, who chooses to self-isolate to protect themselves, how does that person become at risk by others going about their business without breaking and entering? Game, set, match.
This is not democratic. This is not freedom. Give people back their goddamn freedom.
Okay, let's go to the next question, please.
I mean, yeah, it's a pretty powerful statement. How else do you move on to the next call apart from an extended silence? I felt so compelled to make this video today after seeing such a strong and overall negative knee-jerk reaction to comments that from Elon were just full of compassion and care and empathy, the complete opposite of how many people interpreted them. It still baffles me that people are so able to hear words which have very obvious and clear meaning and somehow just be blinded because of their own assumptions and projections. It's really worrying, and to be quite honest, it's just upsetting. There's people out there that will completely misread a situation and make a judgment about somebody's character and be so completely off. Guys, there's going to be more people who end up killing themselves because they're depressed, they've lost their business, they feel that they can't provide for their family, they've got no purpose and mission now, than people that die from this illness. I guarantee it. Now, one point that is worth addressing is whether or not it's appropriate for a CEO of a company like Tesla to make these kind of comments on an earnings call. I personally believe it is appropriate. It may not be necessarily expected, but if you have a large platform and you can provide a voice for people that do not have a voice on an important issue, I believe that you have a moral responsibility to do so, and to not do so would be dishonest and immoral and unethical. Of course, somebody's going to say, oh no, that's alright, it's not the place for the CEO. I get that. I mean, if you want to, like, everyone should fit into a little cookie cutter template, and that's okay, that's fine, okay, cool, you can have your opinion, that's okay. But personally, I would prefer people who are running companies, who are in positions of power and influence, to actually use that power and influence to do good in the world, not just within their company, but for the broader general public. And this is an example of what happened on the earnings call. Elon Musk is not an idiot, okay? He is aware that making these kind of statements will cause a shitstorm, but it had to be done. No one else has the balls big enough to do it. This video itself is like a super meta version of that, okay? I'm now putting myself out on a limb, taking a stand on an issue that I know is controversial. I know plenty of people will see this video and like 2 seconds in, they'll have unsubscribed, they'll leave an angry comment, and I'll never hear from them again. But to be honest, see ya, not going to be missed. Those kind of people, if I can't get through, if they can't even listen all the way through to a video that's trying to give a different perspective, that's fine. They're a lost cause. I'm here to teach people how to think, to grow and learn, etc. If you've got a closed mind and you're not open to just taking stuff in before you make your decision and judgment, you're a lost cause, I'm sorry. My hope with this video is that just a single person who saw or heard those comments from Elon Musk and had a knee-jerk reaction and made a value judgment that was off, sees this and realizes that they made an error, and in fact, they misunderstood the meaning by Elon Musk. That would be my goal. Just one person. I know that most people, if they're outraged, they don't want to hear it, but I really think this is worth doing. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going out on a limb here. I know a lot of people won't enjoy this content. They'll say just stick to Tesla, don't talk about politics. Guess what? I don't give a fuck, okay? It's an important issue. People's livelihood is being destroyed. Their freedom is being taken away. I'm not an idiot, okay? I'm not suggesting that people go around and start making out with grandmothers, alright, and spitting on people who have, life-threatening illnesses to try and infect them, okay? That's not what I'm suggesting. Nobody's suggesting that if they're sane. What I'm trying to do here is have an intelligent, rational, and reasonable discourse about an extremely important issue that people seem to be just not noticing. The knock-on effect from this economic disruption is going to be orders of magnitude more dangerous and destructive than anything that has come from this illness. Please get that, guys. I really, really, really need you to understand the economic fallout, the social fallout, the emotional effects of this are going to have far worse consequences than the sickness itself. We are fucking this up. I'm Stephen Mark Ryan. This is Solving the Money Problem. I love you all, and think first, judge second. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And of course, if you have any ideas for future videos, let me know. I read all your comments. P.S. If you're still watching, you're awesome. This channel has kind of blown up since it launched, and I'm working on making the best possible content for you guys, but it takes time. Consider supporting the channel at patreon.com/solvingthemoneyproblem so I can continue creating content for you guys. There's a link in the description. And you can now also become a member of the channel to get some exclusive perks. To learn more, click the join button next to subscribe. Either way, the best form of support is you being here and watching, so thanks again. Do you want somebody running a company who doesn't stand up for their values, just bends over it and takes it?